Once upon a time, nestled deep within a lush valley, there was a village that lived in constant fear. Towering over the valley on the highest peak of the nearby mountains lived a fearsome giant. Every villager, from the oldest elder to the youngest child, had heard terrifying tales of his might. They said his footsteps could cause earthquakes, and his roar could shatter windows. No one had ever dared to venture near the giant's mountain fortress, and the villagers lived their lives under a shadow of dread, always looking up at the ominous peak. One day, a young boy named Leo was listening to the elders recount the same old stories of the giantess wrath. Unlike the others, who shivered with fear, Leo was filled with a sense of curiosity. He looked at the anxious faces around him and wondered, has anyone ever actually spoken to the giant? How do we know he's so terrible if we've never even met him? His questions were quickly hushed. The villagers warned him that his curiosity was dangerous and that he should forget such foolish thoughts. But Leo couldn't forget. He believed that understanding was better than fear. So, that very night, under the soft glow of the moon, Leo packed a small bag with some bread, cheese, and a flask of water. He scribbled a quick note for his parents, telling them not to worry, and then quietly slipped out of the village. His heart pounded in his chest, a mix of fear and excitement. The path to the giant's mountain was steep and treacherous, a path no villager had walked in generations. The journey was harder than Leo had imagined. He climbed over sharp rocks, navigated through thorny bushes, and crossed rushing streams. The wind howled around him, sounding like eerie whispers in the dark. Several times, he thought about turning back, but the image of his villagers' fearful faces pushed him forward. He wanted to find the truth, for them and for himself. After a long and difficult climb, as the sun began to rise, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Leo finally reached the summit. He saw a massive cave, the entrance to the giant's home. Taking a deep breath, he cautiously stepped inside. The cave was surprisingly warm and well-lit by a large, crackling fire. And there, sitting by the fire, was the giant. He wasn't roaring or smashing things. He was hunched over, his massive shoulders shaking, and Leo heard a sound he never expected. The giant was sobbing. The giant was so absorbed in his sadness that he didn't notice the tiny boy standing at the entrance. Leo, seeing this immense creature in such distress, felt his fear melt away, replaced by a wave of compassion. He walked closer and, in a small but steady voice, asked, "Excuse me, sir. Are you all right?" Startled, the giant looked up. His eyes, as large as dinner plates, were red and swollen from crying. When he saw Leo, he didn't look angry. He looked surprised and a little scared himself. "A little boy, what are you doing here? Aren't you afraid of me?" His voice rumbled, but it was gentle, not monstrous. "I was," Leo admitted honestly. "Everyone in my village is, but you seem sad, not scary. Why are you crying?" The giant let out a heavy sigh, a gust of wind that rustled Leo's hair. "I'm lonely," he confessed, his voice thick with sorrow. "Everyone is afraid of me because I'm so big. No one ever comes to visit. No one ever talks to me. They just tell scary stories. I've been alone on this mountain for so long." Leo's heart ached for the giant. He realized that the villagers' fear had created a prison of loneliness for this creature. "My name is Leo," he said, offering a small smile. "What's yours?" The giant blinked, a single tear rolling down his cheek. "My name is Finn," he whispered. Leo sat with Finn for hours. He shared his bread and cheese, which was just a tiny crumb for the giant. But Finn accepted it with immense gratitude. Leo told Finn all about his village, the games they played, the songs they sang. In return, Finn told Leo about the beautiful sunsets he watched from the mountain, the families of eagles he befriended, and the way the stars looked so close from his peak. He wasn't a monster at all. He was just a big, gentle soul who was desperately lonely. When it was time for Leo to leave, Finn looked sad again. "Will you come back?" he asked hopefully. "I will," Leo promised. "And I'll bring others with me. They just need to know the real you." When Leo returned to the village, everyone rushed out to see him, amazed that he was safe. He gathered them all in the village square and told them his story. He described Finn's gentle nature, his loneliness, and his kindness. At first, The villagers were skeptical. The fear that had been passed down through generations was hard to shake. But Leo's conviction was powerful. He wasn't just telling a story. He was sharing a truth he had seen with his own eyes. Slowly, bravely, a few villagers decided to trust Leo. He led a small group, including his own parents, back up the mountain path. When they arrived at the cave, Finn was waiting anxiously. Seeing the villagers, he was nervous, but he remembered Leo's kindness and offered them a shy, hopeful smile. The villagers, seeing the gentle giant, finally understood. Their fear had been a misunderstanding, a story that had grown far bigger than the truth. From that day on, everything changed. The villagers were no longer afraid. They would often visit Finn, bringing him gifts of food and flowers. The children would play at the foot of his mountain, their laughter echoing up to his cave. Finn would watch over them, his giant heart filled with joy. He was no longer the fearsome giant of the mountain. He was Finn, their friend and protector. The valley flourished, not under a shadow of fear, but under the watchful, loving gaze of their giant friend. And it was all thanks to a small boy who was brave enough to question fear and search for the truth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. See you next time.